welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing, sir?
Doing good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing absolutely well. First of all, thank you for taking the time out. I know you have an absolute busy schedule. And before I even get started, I wanted to give a little bit of an introduction of you, and then you could go into a little bit more details. And we just kind of like talk about some of the things that's going on. Okay.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Well, if you are joining us, this is one of my additions to the Motivation Masters of the Holistic Life Coach, and with me I have a truly lifelong good friend of mine who has traveled abroad throughout, seen many things, done business upon business, has his own business upon business, military guy. Chris Newberry, is there anything else that I have forgotten to mention upon like your trillion accolades that you have acquired? Proud father, great father. I see the things you're doing online. I see your response. You've always been like a humble guy, very, very dedicated to whatever you put your hands to in crafts. And I respect you tenfold over. So is there anything that I've forgotten or left out?
No, sir. It's humbling just hearing that from you. I truly appreciate it, and I'm happy that you even asked me to do this. This is wonderful.
I don't know of anybody else that I would ask right off the bat, just to be honest with you. Like, this is when we're talking about mindset and we're talking about the type of mindset that you have. I welcome that. Like, there's a power in surrounding yourself with people, not only like-minded people, but people that want to do, people that want to succeed, that want the most, not only from themselves, but from others that they surround themselves with. And I can tell you, even when I wasn't on my best of days, you were always that person to motivate me to do better and be better. So even when I was lost and had, direction, you kept me grounded and kept me focused. So I have yet to find anyone in my entire life that has always been grounded, such as yourself. So I applaud you and thank you for even taking the time to come out. I know it's been some years since we sat down in person, but you've always been that person to me. So anything like talk about your podcast. Let's see what you got coming up and the things that you're doing and big news on the business too. Please bring that up. What's going on?
Not a problem. Well, we have a podcast called Roast and Oxtails where we just talk about manhood and music and sports and just fatherhood and all things positive in that manner. It's just a platform for building, and we say we like to get into the gritty of a subject. We like to get as detailed as we can. We might not all be masters of something, but we want to share information with one another, and we called it Roast and Oxtails to make it be the meat as we get into the meat of the subject, and we try to come up with things that stick to your ribs, so to speak, like Roast and Oxtails. Yes, I just put the final touches on starting my party rentals business. I'm going to be renting out bounce castles and other affairs to people in the community and stuff. That's a wonderful thing. That's been a plan. It's been 3 years in the making. I'm very excited about that. And I'm rolling up on I'm running up on my 17th year in the military. I got 3 years left, and I will be done. I will be retired, and I can focus on my businesses full time and just. I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to keep everything above water for the kids, for my family, trying to make sure that my wife is doing well, trying to be an example, trying to show them that in life you can do whatever it is that you put your mind to, you put your thoughts to. It sounds cliche, but the fact of the matter is, like, if you truly believe that you can do it, and you don't give into the fear, because the most successful people I've learned are scared every day because they have so much going for them, and if they're not on their square, they could lose it, But once you get past that and you realize that you can move forward and move onward and upward, and you truly allow yourself to believe that about yourself, you can accomplish anything. And that's what I'm learning the more that I move forward with my life. So
that's true. That is so awesome that you said that. Like, successful people are scared every day. That is I couldn't have phrased that better. I couldn't even have found the words for that. That is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. So with that fear, okay, what I want to transition a little bit into is, obviously, like you said, you mentioned your military background. Congratulations. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being just who you are as a person. And then the party rentals, and then the exit strategies. So you mentioned several different times here. And I have a question that kind of goes into each time frame. The question I have for you, sir, is what kept you motivated throughout this adventure? What kept you motivated in the military? What kept you motivated to have that exit strategy? What kept you motivated in your marriage? What kept you motivated to do this party rentals thing? What kept you motivated as a father? I know they're probably all different answers.
Well, the main there are a bunch of different answers that I can go into, but the main thing that it all boils down to is I knew what I wanted out of life and what I expected of myself. And what kept me motivated is just knowing that I knew if I try, if I put forth my effort, like I remember, and this goes back to high school. I remember I was having trouble in a class, and I had someone helping me in that class, and we would talk every day. And one thing that she told me that stuck with me was, she said, even if you shoot for the moon and you miss, you'll still be amongst the stars.
Right. And
this was amazing coming from a 15, 16-year-old girl, but she was right. She was absolutely right. Anytime that I've not pushed myself, anytime that I didn't push myself, I didn't accomplish anything. Anytime that I did that, anytime that I decided to slack, I wound up thinking to myself, wow, I could have done better. And that's not something that I want to feel when I'm looking at myself as a father, when I'm looking at myself as a husband, when I'm looking at myself as a business owner, when I'm looking at myself as a military man. When I look back on my life, I don't want to have regrets. And I learned, even if I tried hard and I didn't succeed to the level that I wanted to, but I still made progress no matter what. I still progressed. I still learned something. I still did better than most, and that's that's what kept me going, is just knowing that if I put forth my effort, put forth my best efforts, I will move forward. And it may be an inch, and it may be a mile, but I won't be in the same place that I was yesterday because I chose to move forward and because I chose to make things happen for myself. Nobody can take that away from me at all.
That's like incredible. Like, I love like what you said there. I absolutely love that. And growing up, we didn't have the mindset of laws of attraction. When you said when you miss the moon, you're still amongst the stars. Hearing that the first time, it sounded very cliche when I heard it the first time. But thinking back now, realizing that how much people surround you that can influence you and impact you, knowing that now, and I didn't realize how genius that statement was of like, you're still amongst the stars. You're still around the people that do things, that shine, that take control. You're still out there. And I didn't realize that, and putting that in perspective, with the laws of attraction and what you said, still moving forward, it seems like very similar to the belief system and the things that I try to teach with, the 24 hours better. No matter what happened yesterday, you're always better today than you were yesterday. And it's a mindset to have. You may be in a worse situation, but you're in a better mental spot as long as you can continue to move forward. That I couldn't have said that part better. You absolutely nailed it on the head, is the effort that you're putting out, the outcome that you're moving forward. So what about the parenthood? What kept you with that situation? What kept you moving forward or motivated into that?
Well, what kept me motivated with that is just those boys came from me, right?
Okay.
They came from me, and there is nobody out there who will understand who they are and what they are better than me. And so my motivation from that was, I wanted them to have better than I did. But at the same time, I want them to know that no matter what, I'm here for them. Regardless of when times get hard, regardless of when times get stressful, regardless of whatever, I want them to know that I will always be there for them, and if it's in my power to do, then I'm going to do it for them. And I want them to know that. I want them to know that they can rely on me, because unfortunately, I learned at a very early age that I didn't have that with my father.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Right.
And I never want my sons to view me in that light, because that's a very disheartening way to view the person who gave you life.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. And that's the other thing that kept me going too. I never want them to look at me like that. And it's not even that my father was a bad person per se, but he allowed, I can say this, there were certain things that he allowed in my life that shouldn't have been there.
I understand. Yeah.
And certain things that I saw that nobody should ever see. And I'm not going to knock him. He did the best that he could. But even then, he's told me that back to the looking back and having no regrets. He's told me that he knows that he could have done much better as a father and as a man in my life and in my brother's lives. And that's something that I never want to look upon myself and say. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be perfect. I
Right.
may make mistakes.
Right. Right.
I've made mistakes, and I'm going to continue to make mistakes. You know, there are going to be mistakes that are going to be made. That, like, the only thing I can say that I did for these boys is that I did my best, and that I gave them the best that I could give. You know, and they, and looking into their eyes, inspires me to be the best person that I can be. And that doesn't mean be perfect. That just means that my all has been given. You know, when I do the job, when I do the work, and it's done, you know, no one else, not their mother, not their grandparents, nobody can say that I wasn't there for them. No one.
Right. Right.
You know, and that, like, having that belief in myself that no one else can provide for them the way I can. Therefore, they're not going to look to anyone else to do that. Those are my kids. So, and then
Right.
they'll always know that, and they'll always know that Dad was there.
Right. I feel you on that one 1,000%. I used to tell my kids that what kept me going in that situation was, I will tell my friends, it's like I couldn't, look at my kids. I couldn't get down on one knee and look my kids in the eye and tell them that they couldn't have whatever, this or that, because I didn't work hard enough, or I didn't try hard enough, or I didn't want to do something, or that always kept me in my mindset of like, hey, whatever sacrifices I have to make, or whatever I have to do in this situation, it's just, legally, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this happen, because, they don't deserve that feeling that you talked about, that look of feeling judged. That they don't deserve that, and you don't deserve that. So, like, it's up to me at this point to make that happen. And I want to go out and tell you this too, because, like, people in general, such as yourself, even myself, I had a realization a few years ago of doing this podcast, of starting this podcast and going around this way, is that we don't realize how much power that we have, and how much of an inspiration that we are. And for you, I'm going to tell you, like, for instance, this, just talking about this, there's some parent out there that didn't know how to feel or express that. And hearing someone else say it, it empowers them and puts them in that mindset. What motivates you was, like, the key part of this whole podcast and mindset that we're talking about. Because, a future guest I'm going to have is he's a grocery store, department manager. And he, just like you and me, we're all common people. But I asked him what keeps him motivated, especially during COVID. What kept him, he's going to have a different answer than you, me, and some other people. He's going to have different perspective, and those perspectives, they're like thread where they weave together and lay out this blanket of thoughts for all of us to see, like, hey, this is what we're going through. This is, pull inspiration from you, pull inspiration from him, pull inspiration from, Boston, who was like my previous guest. They all of this weaves together into this picture of, like, this is how we deal with things, and this is the struggle we go through. I want to make sure that we all have that in mindset. But I'm gonna cut this one. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for being a part of me. Thank you for joining this podcast. Is there any last minute things you want to say or plugs?
Not necessarily. You can look us up, Roasting Oxtails again, and like I said, it's truly humbling that you invited me to this, and I thank you for your kind words and your words of encouragement. You know what I mean? They help me more than every day. Just knowing that that's how you see me, You know what I mean? It's humbling and it's motivating all at the same time, because, you know, I feel like I owe it to you as well, because you believe in me. You know what I mean? And that's what makes me go every day, and I thank you for that as well. You know, and you know, I just appreciate it. I appreciate you, and anytime that I can do this again, you know, just hit me up and let me know, and I'm there.
Yes, sir. We will have you back. We'll have you back. Thank you very much, sir, Chris.
All right. Have a good one, boss.
Thank you.